All right, let's dive into a what-if scenario that every fan of this series has dreamed about. What if Goku, our hero from Earth, was thrown back in time? What if he landed on a planet Vegeta that was never destroyed and got to meet the parents he never even knew? I mean, think about that for a second. It's a huge emotional question for anyone. But for Son Goku, this isn't just some daydream. It actually becomes his reality. And it forces him to face a past he has zero memory of, and a future he might just have to give up. So this is where our story kicks off. After some crazy cataclysmic event, Goku doesn't wake up in the afterlife. No, he wakes up on planet Vegeta, an intact, thriving planet Vegeta, a world that by all rights should be nothing but space dust. To all the Saiyans there, and especially to their king, this guy is a total ghost. He calls himself Goku, and he literally appears out of thin air. His power level, it's completely off the charts, way beyond even their most elite fighters. But it's more than that. His story about being from the future sounds totally insane, and his whole kind, gentle personality, well, that's just as alien to their warrior culture as his power is. And this right here perfectly sums up King Vegeta's problem. On one hand, his brain is telling him, this guy is either a liar or he's lost his mind. But on the other hand, that raw power he's radiating, the power the king saw himself, you just can't deny it. It's real, no matter how crazy the explanation is. Of course, King Vegeta is a king. He doesn't just see a puzzle to be solved. He sees a piece on the chessboard. He's a pragmatist, and he immediately starts thinking, how can I use this guy? How can this anomaly be the key to finally taking down Frieza? Okay, so step one, figure out who this person actually is. The Royal Guard gets to work digging through every single record they have in the Saiyan Army archives. But the name Goku? Nope, doesn't exist. There's absolutely no record of him anywhere, which just makes this whole thing even weirder. And this is where the investigation takes a wild turn. They find a match, but it's an impossible one. This warrior looks exactly like a baby named Kakarot, the newborn son of a low-class soldier, a guy named Bardock. I mean, look at this. Everything lines up. The family, the face, everything except the fact that Kakarot is an infant. The only conclusion they can come to, as nuts as it sounds, is that the stranger's story is true. So, once the truth is out, or the impossible truth, King Vegeta's plan just clicks into place. He doesn't care if Goku is a time-traveling ghost. He sees a weapon, a big one. This Saiyan isn't a mystery anymore. He's the hammer that the king is going to use to shatter Frieza's entire empire. But while the king is busy plotting a revolution, Goku's on a much more personal mission. He gets an address, a chance to find the real answers he's looking for, a chance to finally meet Bardock and Jean. I mean, can you just imagine this moment? You're Bardock and Jean, just going about your day, and this stranger shows up who looks just like Bardock, but older. And he claims to be your son, your infant son, all grown up. You'd be so confused. They immediately think it's some kind of trick or a trap. And Goku, he tries his best to explain the unexplainable. He tells them about traveling through time, about how planet Vegeta gets destroyed, about the whole life he's lived. And for Bardock and Jean, the pieces slowly start to fit together, especially because Bardock was already having these visions, these premonitions that Frieza was going to betray them. And then it sinks in, that moment of pure acceptance. The realization just hits them. This is their son. This is Kakarot. He survived the end of the world that they were so afraid of. And for the very first time in his entire life, Goku gets to be hugged by his mom and dad. It's a feeling he has never, ever known. Just this incredible, comforting warmth. But hey, this is a Saiyan family reunion, after all. It can't all be hugs and tears. Bardock, being the warrior he is, needs to understand. He has to test the power of the man his son grew up to be. So naturally, he challenges Goku to a fight. And what happens next is it's staggering. It shows you the massive gap in their power. Bardock, who's a really tough fighter himself, he goes all out, unleashes everything he's got. And Goku, he doesn't even move his feet. He just stands there, completely calm, and deflects every single punch, every single kick, with just the tip of his index finger. For Bardock, it's not just about the strength. It's a totally different way of fighting. It's calm, it's confident, almost playful. and it is absolutely humbling.
And in that moment, Bardock gets it. He realizes he's not just up against a strong opponent. He is facing a level of power he literally cannot even begin to comprehend. It's beyond anything he's ever witnessed. It confirms that his son has become something far greater than any Saiyan could have ever dreamed of.
So after that little sparring session, Goku finally opens up. He tells his parents everything about his life on Earth, the friends he made, the family he built. But talking about all this brings up a really painful question. This is the choice he's staring down, and it's an impossible one. If he stays here and beats Frieza, he saves his people, he saves his parents, he gets to grow up as Kakarot on planet Vegeta. But what happens to the life he already lived? What happens to all the people who turned him into Goku? And as he thinks about it, he realizes his true identity wasn't forged here on Vegeta. It was forged on Earth. His entire life is defined by these people. His grandpa Gohan, Bulma, Roshi, Krillin, his wife Chi-Chi, his son Gohan. If he erases that timeline, he erases them. And in doing so, he erases the very person he's become. So he makes his choice. And it is absolutely heartbreaking. He asks his parents to still put his infant self in that pod and send him to Earth, to let history play out exactly as it was meant to. He's choosing to save the past, even if it means he can never, ever have this future with them. But just as this gut-wrenching decision is made, destiny decides to show up. The time for choosing is over. The threat they've all been talking about, it's not some distant future anymore. It's here, right now. The sky just fills with this sense of dread. Alarms are blaring all across the planet as Frieza's massive, iconic ship just descends from orbit. The moment of truth is here, and it came a lot sooner than anyone thought.
But here's the thing. This time, the Saiyans aren't caught off guard, because Goku warned them. Hundreds of warriors, all united under their king, they take to the sky. Bardock and his crew are right there with them, flying up to meet their fate head-on. It's a real, unified resistance.
And then there's Frieza. He emerges, just oozing that trademark arrogance of his. He's not threatened. He's amused by this little show of defiance. To him, this isn't an army. It's just a swarm of insects he's about to squash. And then, his eyes scan the crowd and land on the one person who doesn't belong, that man in the orange and blue gi. And that's where we have to leave this story. Goku has given his people a real fighting chance, but history has been thrown completely off course. The question now is, can the power of a legend, a Super Saiyan from the future, really stand up to a tyrant who believes he himself is destiny?